Okay, hi everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today for our second session on listings. Today we'll be focusing on how to manage your listings in the Amazon store. My name is Yas and I'm on the Seller University team. So after today's session, we hope that you are able to use best practices for uploading inventory files, describe parent-child ASIN relationships, and use processing reports to troubleshoot inventory file uploads. Today, your presenters are David and Eric, who are both account reps under our seller recruiting team. And with that, I'll pass it to David.
Awesome. Thank you, Yas. Welcome everybody to Listings 201. And let's go ahead and get started. So using inventory files to manage your listings in bulk can help you save time and optimize your business in the Amazon store. Inventory files are spreadsheets with multiple data columns for product attributes and information which you can use to add, edit, or update product listings in bulk in the Amazon store. You can create inventory file templates to fit your specific requirements and list different product types across multiple categories with one template. Inventory files can help you save time and optimize efficiency when adding large amounts of products into the Amazon catalog. We typically recommend to use files for 50 or more products, but it can be used for any number of products. To find an inventory file template relevant to your business, open the Seller Central main menu, hover over Catalog, and select Add Products via Upload. Next, click the Download Spreadsheet tab at the top of the page. If you're adding offers for products that already exist in the Amazon catalog, you'll click the Get Listing Loader button. If you're adding new products to the Amazon catalog, click Get Product Template, which you can also use to edit product details and other information. Click the Get Price and Quantity Template button to download a template you can use to update price and quantity values for existing listings. For category-specific templates, click the Get Other Templates button and select Learn More next to category-specific inventory files. On this page, you'll find a list of category-specific file templates with associated style guides and browse tree guides. Any requirements for each template will be listed in an Approval Required column on the right of the page. One of the most important things to keep in mind when using inventory files to add or edit products is to always use the most up-to-date template. Using old templates can result in errors or missing data. It is a best practice to re-download your template each time you need to use it, as this will ensure any updates to the template are reflected in your sheet. Newly required attributes may be added to these files to help create better customer experience, and old files will not show these updates. Let's review some best practices for filling out inventory files. Use the required column to find which rows you need to enter information for. The column will show required in red text for required information and optional in orange text for optional information. Optional rows may change to required based on your inputs in other fields. You can find additional or optional attributes collapsed in each attribute group, which can be unhidden by clicking the plus button above the section you'd like to review or edit. We recommend keeping a backup copy of your completed template on your machine or hard drive. Be sure the SKU you provide for each product is unique and double check SKUs as they cannot be changed. If you upload a file with data for an existing SKU, the more recent data will replace the previous data in most cases. This can be handy when new product features are added and you need to update multiple listings at once. When entering inventory file information, always remember that your product's detail pages will be built with these attributes. Fill out all possible attributes relevant to a particular product to build the best detail page possible. Product detail pages play a major role in customers' purchase decisions and should answer all the questions a customer may have. For example, if you sell shoes, filling out the materials field specific to your category will impact your listing and how customers respond to it. While you may be an expert on your products, keep in mind that customers may not be. And remember, one of the biggest causes for page abandonment is lack of information on the detail page. Some of the fields most commonly forgotten while creating new listings are for the product description, key product features, which are the fields you should use all of, relevant attributes specific to your product type, and search terms or keywords. The fields for which are limited to 250 characters. They cannot include brand names, and you do not need commas when filling in the search terms or keywords box. Super important there because commas actually take up character count and you end up wasting some space that doesn't need to be. The attributes in these fields can help customers make educated buying decisions when reviewing and finding detail pages. Now let's talk about products with parent-child relationships, also known as product variations. Creating product variations can help customers find different versions of the product they're viewing. Variations are sets of products related to one another that allow buyers to compare and choose based on attributes like size or color. Variations have three elements: the parent listing, child products, and the variation theme. The parent listing is not displayed in search results, but groups the child products within one detail page, allowing the customer to toggle between the variations. Parent products are non-buyable and only used to relate child products. Child products are the variations of the parent. Variation themes define how products are related, for example, again, like attributes for size and or color. It's a common misconception that popular listings can be converted to parent listings, which isn't the case. Parent listings only group products together and are not visible in the Amazon store. When you create product variations, be sure not to include price or quantity values for parent products, as this can cause the system to think this is a listing with a buyable offer. Completely describe each product with all attributes and remember to follow the recommendations in the product page style guides for each. When building variations, don't use images for parent listings unless the image is the same for and applied to all child variations. For example, a red shirt with a variation for only size could use the same image, and you could add that to the parent image. To group existing standalone listings into a variation, you'll need to either create a new listing and a parent listing separately, or regroup them using a category listings report file, which we'll cover shortly. If you choose to manually create a parent listing, you can add the other standalone child listings after using the edit button by the parent listing on the Manage Inventory page and selecting the Variations tab. Next, enter relevant variation theme information for each child to be added to the group, like color name or size name. In the product ID fields for the variation section, enter the ASIN of the corresponding child along with the price, quantity, and condition, and any other required fields. Because these child listings were initially created as standalone listings and already have ASINs, grouping products like these can be an easy fix if you're a brand owner or private label seller. When you're adding or editing variations with an inventory file, you'll have some specific considerations. Keep in mind that the exact column headings in your product template may appear differently. Some fields in your template may be marked as optional, but are needed to describe your child products accurately in relation to parent products. So be sure to double check these optional fields. The variation theme column shows that the products in particular parent-child relationships differ from each other based on both color and size. Use the data definition sheet to find a list of terms that you can use for variation themes. Amazon will remove listings that don't correctly use established variation themes, or they simply will not group together correctly. Pay extra attention to the variations section of your inventory file when creating new variations or grouping existing listings into a variation theme. Let's cover some of the most common mistakes we see when using files to group variations. And this is specifically on the highlighted section, the pink variation section that we're talking about here. So in the variation section of the file, the parent must be labeled as parent, and the child listings as children. We can see our example here. That would be the parentage column. So it's kind of hard to see, but that's column AB on this file. And when you click in the cell, there's actually a set of valid values, and you can only choose between one of two options, you can only choose one of two options. One is parent, one is child. So you would designate the parent as the parent listing, and then all the children to be associated with that parent, you would label them as children. Child listings each need a parent SKU, which is the same SKU listed in the first part of the file on the parent listing. The parent listings parent SKU in the variation section is left blank. So when we look at the second column here, column AC for parent SKU, the parent listing, the cell for the parent listing will actually be left blank. Only the children listings in this column will have a parent SKU specifically. All items, both parent and children, need a matching variation theme. So if your variation theme is going to be color, you need to signify that the variation theme is the same for the parent and the children. Whichever variation theme is entered in this section also has corresponding attributes like color map, size, or pattern that must be filled in. So if you are doing a color variation, you need to fill in the attribute for color. If you're doing a size variation, you need to find the attribute for size. And those are typically in the discovery section, which on the file is the green section if you're looking at the header. Let's see here. The relationship type column, column AD here, that is another column where only the children are going to get information. So the relationship type for the children will be variation. And again, it's a list of valid values. So when you click in that box, you'll get a list that you can choose from. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be choosing the option for variation. And again, in this column, column AD for relationship type, the parent does not get a relationship type. The parent is not a variation. Color variations are the only variation type that show a thumbnail image on the detail page. The rest display as a drop-down menu. That is a very, very common question that we get is how do I have a variation with the little thumbnail images on the page? The only option you have is to do a color variation. So keep that in mind when building out your listings. And you can use color variation for many different things. It doesn't just have to be color. Finally, when using an inventory file to group products, their category, brand name, manufacturer, and item type keywords all need to match exactly. If they do not, the listings that don't match will not group correctly into the variation set, and you can either modify those manually using the 1x1 tool, or you can reopen this file, change those attributes to make sure they all match, and then reload it, and that should group everything correctly. I'm going to stop here and pass the mic over to Eric, and he is going to finish this up.
Awesome. Thanks, David. Next, we're going to cover category listing reports, also known as reverse feeds, and how they can help you manage your listings. So reverse feeds or category listing reports can be a great way to edit listings in bulk, group variations, and edit variation themes, colors, and sizes. Downloading a reverse feed shows your inventory along with a record of your inputs. It captures all information you've updated or edited and populates as a product template file for your listed category type. Because they populate as a product template file, you can upload your reverse feed after making the necessary updates for your edits to take effect into the system. To use a reverse feed, you'll need to be granted access by seller support. So once you have access, you can download the file by opening the Seller Central main menu, hovering over reports, and selecting inventory reports. On the inventory reports page, use the drop-down menu to choose your report type and select category listings report. If you don't see this option available, contact seller support and request to be granted access to your reverse feed files. You can also use reverse feeds to edit and restructure your variations in variation families. If you want to change a variation theme, it's usually easiest to start by deleting the parent listing using a reverse feed. This can be done simply by changing the cell in the update delete column for the parent listing to delete and upload the file to Seller Central. Once it's loaded, you can reopen the file and make the needed changes. We recommend changing the parent SKU, as this will often reduce errors down the road. Once you've deleted the parent listings and the children listings are standalone on the Manage Inventory page, you can then regroup them using the file. Be sure to change the cell in the Update Delete column to Partial Update after delete is finished. This will allow only those attributes that you've made changes to update on that file when you upload it. After you've entered the new parent SKU in your file, copy it and paste it into the parent SKU column of the variation section for all items that will be designated children listings. Label these listings as children, as David reviewed, and fill out the rest of the section. Be sure the parent listing doesn't have a SKU in this section and it isn't labeled as a variation. If the rest of the file is filled out with necessary attributes, you're now ready to load the file on the Add Products via Upload page in Seller Central. You can download processing reports to review the status of your inventory file uploads and find any errors that come across. Errors can occur when uploading an inventory file with a product entry or entries that don't meet formatting requirements or missing fields. For example, if you've added more than 2,000 characters to a product's description field, Amazon will recognize the error and send you a notification in your processing report. And that product won't be included in the upload until you have gone back, made the edits, and re-uploaded the file. These protections help safeguard against any listing errors in your catalog going live on the Amazon store. To download a processing report, open the Seller Central main menu, hover over Catalog, and select Add Products via Upload. Go to the Spreadsheet Upload Status section and click Download your processing report. Each line in the file with data is considered a record. At the top of your report, you'll find the total number of records processed and those processed successfully, with the difference being the number of records either not processed or processed with errors. Optionally, you can filter or sort the error type column to view only the error messages. For each error, refer to the original record number and SKU columns to determine which record caused this error. Errors are displayed within the original record number, error code, error type, and error message columns. The error code column provides the ID number for that particular error. The error type column will either display a warning, meaning the data has successfully processed, but may not appear as intended, or an error, which means the data is inadequate or flawed in a way that prevents the record from processing completely. Finally, the error message column provides a brief explanation of the error and some possible ways to fix it. Next, we're going to quickly review some of these common error codes and how to resolve them. So error code 15008 occurs when a row is skipped because it's a duplicate SKU from a previous row. So in this sense, you would have to go in, edit the file, and remove that duplicate SKU and resubmit. If you receive error 5004, your file is missing required information. Again, check your inventory file to ensure you've filled out all required fields before resubmitting. When this happens, you can find these incomplete listings in your draft folder. Your draft folder, again, would be under the catalog, and then you can view your drafts. Open the Seller Central main menu, hover over Catalog, and simply select Complete Your Drafts to edit them manually, or again, you can go and edit them through the data file upload. Error 5665 means brand name you're trying to use hasn't been approved. You'll need to get approval to use this brand name prior to loading the product again. Error code 8541 occurs when an ASIN's product ID corresponds with the product ID of an existing ASIN already in the Amazon catalog. So when this happens, some of the information you're submitting basically contradicts the product information like title, brand, color, or size that already exists for a particular product. To fix this error, verify your product's information by navigating to the Fix Your Products page. So to do so, open the Seller Central main menu, hover over Catalog, and select Complete Your Drafts. Next, on the left side of the page, click the radio button next to Incomplete Listings if it already isn't selected. You can also click Match Reconciliation Conflicts, which appears below all incomplete listings on the left side of the page, to filter your list of incomplete listings to only those with matching errors. To the right of any incomplete listings with matching errors, you'll find an explanation in the issue description column. The issue description column displays any attributes with matching errors alongside the value you submitted and the value in Amazon's catalog. Be sure that all attributes are correct and that you're matching to the exact same product you intend to upload and match against. After ensuring they're the same product, click Accept Amazon's value to update the field or fields causing the matching error. These submissions generally will take up to 15 minutes for us to process. Another error that's common is error code 8542. This means a product ID you submitted is currently associated with 2 or more existing products, but other attributes you've provided don't match these existing products. To solve this error, double check your product ID to ensure it's correct, and then update the attributes in your file to match those in the catalog before resubmitting your file. You can find the correct attributes in the error report we reviewed previously. Alternatively, you can replace your entry under the product ID or product ID type column with the ASIN provided in the error report and resubmit the file upload. As a note, manufacturers reusing UPCs is one of the most common causes of this error, so be sure you and your manufacturer are not reusing UPCs. If you receive error 20002, the variation theme you've specified for a particular product or product is different than the theme that already exists for the same product or products in the Amazon catalog. To fix this, you'll need to use the variation theme that's identical to or includes the existing variation theme. If the existing variation product varies by both size and color, your theme must include both size and color. An 8016 error means that the data provided was insufficient for creating the variation family. This means either the theme didn't match all products or there were missed values for the variation theme attributes on your file.